Hello, my name is Dave and this is Fore Golf. However, this is not David. This is Dimmy Papadatos. Dimmy is in the top 300 in the world, fourth on the Australian Tour Order of Merit, and he knows how to golf his ball. So for those new, this is in fact me. I am an 11 handicap, snap hooking that around the corner on a hole that I didn't actually know. This is my good friend Dale. He's a 6 handicap and he's striping it down the middle. Dale's actually who I went to the event with. And this is Farley Fuchs, 5 handicapper, great golfer and father of Connor Fuchs, one of the leading amateurs in the field. So this video is being filmed at the WA PGA Championship at Kalgoorlie Golf Course. You can see from the red dirt, we are out in the desert. We're 7 hours from Perth as Dimmy smokes yet another one down the middle. So we're playing a tour scramble. So basically everyone tees off, you take the best tee shot, then you play your ball from there. You then take the best 2 scores on the hole, taking into account your handicaps, and that becomes your team score over the 18 holes and so on. This was an incredible event to play in. Playing with someone of Dimmy's ability, I think he was about 4 under through the first 5 holes, absolutely flew out the traps. But this wasn't the only event that I played in. I'm going to talk about that a little bit after I go through some of the on-course footage. But first, a little bit about the course. Kalgoorlie Golf Club, Graham Marsh design, the second longest course in Australia, but firm fairways and a little bit of elevation mean that it doesn't play quite as long as that. But what a fantastic golf course. And this is a public golf course. So if you ever have the opportunity to go and play it, please get along there. And I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. I'll check in with you a little bit later. I didn't film every hole, but what an incredible experience. Thank you so much for the players that were around me. Dale for being involved. Farley, member here, handing me back the Ron Chopper ball marker, of course. And his son actually in the field as well, and it was good to meet him a couple of days later. To Dimmy, you know, having him in the group and watching him was impressive. Obviously, you can get him to line up your putts as well, but we know you can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make it drink. And unfortunately, he couldn't hit the putts for me. That was the only downside. Some incredible holes. This final par 3, the 17th. Such a great hole, and a special one for Farley because on the 3rd round, I believe, his son Connor had a hole-in-one on this hole with all the family watching, and it must have been preempting that event because this is his shot into that 17th, which ended up about a foot short. What a great day. I love being out there with these guys. Stick around, I'm going to talk about the rest of the week. So that was the Pro-Am, but I was actually still in Kalgoorlie for the rest of the event. So the Pro-Am was on the Wednesday. Thursday and Friday I spent walking the course, following the actual groups while they were in competition mode. I pretty much for those 2 days, I did follow some of the younger players on the tour, Jeb Morgan, Blake Windred, and Josh Greer, a young amateur out of WA as well. For a little bit, and some of the other groups as well, and then basically followed around 3 legends as well of the Australian tour in Brett Rumford, who's world renowned for his short game, and that was certainly an exhibition that he put on while we watched, along with Peter Lonard, legend, really nice guy as well, gave us a lot of time, and also Michael Long, who equally, you know, was very generous with his time. And it was just so good to actually follow the pros around. This is a no rope event, so you can literally follow alongside, obviously respecting their own space, you know, and certainly giving them some space when maybe a hole doesn't go too well. But that was really, really good in itself. All right, so you're there, it's in a, you know, it's still a full field event. This was the WA PGA Championship, so it's a, you know, a big deal. Purse-wise, $200,000, which on the Australian Tour is a relatively good good purse behind the real big events, of which there are only 2. But that was great. But the real fun came on the weekend. So in the weekend, we were on, I've got the actual shirt on there. So we were a part of the Road to the Outback competition. So that was basically 28 amateurs are then paired with a professional for the weekend. You then play as a team, you and your pro. You take the best score for you on each hole, so a 4-ball, better ball, and that goes towards your team. So I was paired with James Grierson. He's out of New South Wales. Superb guy, very good golfer, and my good friend Dale was playing with me on Saturday, and he was paired with Josh Clark, another New South Wales guy, and also good guy. Maybe there's something about that because Dimmy was also from there as well, so yeah. So anyway, we are then playing in the field. We're playing in the event, and this was mind-blowing. Like, when you think about it, this is probably the only sport in the entire world where you can play alongside professionals and not get in their way. Can you imagine trying to play, you know, if you like AFL and you want to play in the grand final, you can't be out there on the pitch, you know, while they're playing, or, you know, if you like motorsport, you can't be driving your VW Golf around the F1 track while Lewis Hamilton's screaming around there. So it's a really unique position to be in, but one that I absolutely adored. Yeah, I was very nervous at the start, and James kind of came over and tapped me on the shoulder and just said, look, really no reason to be nervous out here. And that settled me down a lot. Thank you very much, mate. And I birdied the next hole. So I gave a good account of myself. Unfortunately, I couldn't take any footage at all of the weekend. So because we were actually in competition mode, I couldn't even have my phone out on the course. I had to basically treat it as if I was a professional in the field. And that's the only way that I was professional in that field. Anyway, me and James had 40 points, 40 Stableford points between us on the Saturday in the better ball. And that meant that we basically, or I followed where he went in the field. So he didn't have the best of days on Saturday. He shot 3 over, so he came down the leaderboard a little bit. And Dale with Josh, they stayed pretty much where they were because he shot level par. So that meant that on the following day, the Sunday, I was out with just 3 pros. There wasn't another Road to the Outback pairing that were in the group that James was in. So that meant it was me and James and Brodie Martin and also Jason Norris. And we were out on the course, so just me and those 3. Now, if I've ever felt nervous on a golf course before, I certainly never will after that experience. Not because of, you know, how they made me feel, it was more certainly internal at that point, but I think it was just so good, you know. They were great guys, they made me feel incredibly welcome, and, you know, it helps that I played okay as well. Probably better than okay, actually, probably not being fair to myself. I think I shot 2 over on the back 9, so I was pretty pleased with that. But yeah, just such a phenomenal experience. Now, this was a televised event as well. Unfortunately, none of the TV cameras came anywhere near our group, just because of position on the leaderboard. But either way, it was a fantastic event to be a part of, and I've loved every minute of it. And I can't wait to go back in October, to be perfectly honest. So in terms of that competition, we finished 10th. We had 40 points on the Saturday and 45 points on the Sunday. So we had a very good Sunday. We actually won the Sunday in our little betting league, not in the actual scoring, but we won money. So that's all that really matters. But also one of the guys in our group that went up there did actually have as a partner the winner, Jay McKenzie, as well, which netted Jay a nice little bonus. Along with Ian, a $1,500 check to spend on Mizuno gear. So expect him to be out there with some new irons pretty soon. So some very quick thank yous just throughout the week. It was phenomenal. It was an experience I'll never forget. To Dimmy, to James, Josh, Jason and Brodie that I played with throughout the week. Thank you so much for making me feel welcome out on the course and showing encouragement and not being frustrated by this hacker tagging along in your group. I never felt anything other than welcome in those groups, and thank you very much for that. To Dale, Farley and the rest of the guys from Kwinana Golf Club that were there for the event, thank you very much for being a part of it. You know, I hadn't met any of you up until this point, and you know, it was a really great experience and one that I hope to repeat in October, although being higher up the leaderboard would be nice this time. To the PGA staff that actually made it possible as well. So both Kim and Alyssa were instrumental in actually running the event as well. And you know, certainly this is something that I think us amateurs, you know, would love to have happening more often. So anytime there's an opportunity for this to happen, I think you know, the PGA should try and get behind it. And the actual Road to the Outback wouldn't be possible without some sponsorship. So the key sponsor of the event, TX Civil and Logistics, actually sponsor that. So thank you very much to them. And in particular, Zach Rad, who's the owner of that organisation, who gave me the opportunity to get out there as well. So thank you very much, Zach. Hopefully I gave a good account of myself, and I've warranted another invite in October. I've dropped several hints about October now. I think I definitely want to be there. Lastly, just the volunteers that were at the event, those that are giving up their time. You know, they could have been scorers, they could have been rules officials, you know, there are various different things. They could have just been serving coffee. But they made the event superb. The green staff put on a great golf course setup. Incredible, considering the conditions it has to survive in. You know, absolutely, it's a fantastic course, and they should be very proud of what they've done. And last but by no means least, massive thank you for my wife as to being understanding enough to let me go away for a week at very short notice and remove all of my other commitments over the Easter break when we were supposed to be going on holiday. So I owe you one. If you did enjoy the video, smash that like button, leave me a comment below, subscribe to the channel and ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. My name is Dave. This has been Fore Golf. Thank you very much.